Hello guys, welcome back to another one. Today we are discussing the long-lasting debate of which one is better, DC or Marvel, and we'll basically be going through like a bunch of aspects and stuff like that. And as our guest we have James, one of my friends.
Yay.
Yay, we're all so happy to see you.
Yay. Right.
So
So,
what's our first aspect going to be about?
um, comics.
Alright.
Right. So, gotta admit, Batman is OP in the comics.
Yeah, that's no question. But then you have Spider-Man and Iron Man and Captain America, who at the time weren't as well known because it was all about Spider-Man, but, you know,
Yeah, Captain America was kind of like,
they were underrated at the time, and Spider-Man was like the big thing of Marvel, like back in the day.
yeah, because
Just like as
Stan Lee
Bat,
chose that as like
yeah,
his
his
thing.
the icon.
Yeah.
But with DC Comics, it was all about Batman and Superman. Those were like so they had two as like their icon because
Yeah.
like come on, who
Yeah.
doesn't know about Superman and Batman if you're a superhero fan? Like
Yeah, two icons is better than one.
yeah, so that's one good aspect. And but
Yeah.
the thing about Marvel is like besides like the icons and stuff like that, they have they have like they have a wider variety of characters, like if you really think about it, because DC like has like the Justice League, the like
Uh-huh.
all the villains and stuff like that, but like they have like DC Marvel has like a wider variety of characters if you think about it, because like they have like all these different universes and stuff like that, where it's like there's there's like the main guys like the Avengers and stuff like that. Then there's like X-Men, there's Fantastic Four, whereas like DC just has like those. Well, I guess that DC has a lot too, but like
Yeah, DC has like the Doom thing. I forgot what it's
Legion
called.
of Doom.
Yeah. Yeah, and then
Yeah, but like that's
they
the
also have the
main
Justice.
villains. That's like the main villains of the story, anyways.
Yeah, they don't really have as many like. Actually, no, they have many like smaller teams like Teen Titans.
Yeah,
I think there's
those are like
Justice League
side.
and then
Yeah, they have like a better. They have more side kind of things.
yeah. No, actually, no, that's not true. Cause like, what about Marvel and the Eternals? Marvel,
We
the
don't talk
Eternals,
about that.
and then
We don't talk
there's.
about that.
But
I'm joking. I'm joking.
actually, no, I can't really be telling
Yeah,
because in Marvel it's more like individual villains.
yeah.
Because
Whereas
it's
like
more like the
in
classic
DC, you
team
can
from
find like
Marvel villains.
yeah, you can find like a variety of you could find like a
Yeah, it's
variety
like
of villains working together in DC, I feel like, and then like in Marvel it's like independent villains. Like the first Avengers movie, it's only Loki, that's the main villain. In Age of Ultron,
yeah,
Ultron, in Infinity War, Thanos, and then like again in Endgame, Thanos too, but
yeah. In Marvel, it's more like the classic villain theme. It's like the main villain, and then all the henchmen, like Brainiac and the Doom guy. I forgot his name. So many Dooms.
oh, Doctor Doom.
Oh yeah, Doctor Doom has henchmen and stuff, and then
Her
who
Doctor
hates
Doom is
henchmen?
cool though. You gotta admit.
Yeah, yeah, Doctor Doom is cool.
Um,
He,
although I personally like this is probably not the popular opinion, but I feel as if like DC villains are like I feel like they're like how do I put it? They're like they have like more personality.
more personality.
Yeah, like
Oh yeah,
think about it.
Yeah,
Like,
that's actually true. That's actually true because if Marvel keeps on going like the classic aspect of villains, then they won't add any stuff like that. Like,
take for instance the Joker.
Joker
Yeah,
comics and stuff.
The Joker is like
Bane,
has more. Yeah, they like.
like,
And the thing about Marvel villains, they have like one purpose and they're set their mind to it. Whereas I feel like the villains in DC are just like more villainous in a way. Like sure they aren't as powerful, but it's like they're more villainous if you like think about it. Joker, he wants to watch the world burn. Like Lex Luthor just wants to kill a guy, and then like
these guys are so annoying.
there's like all of
Yeah,
there's like all of those different characters and aspects to the villainy, which is
yeah.
like which I like about DC.
Yeah, I think they have. I think the reason they have more like personality in DC is because they have more specific goals.
Yeah,
In
they have more
Marvel, it's all
specific
like taking over
like
the world and
it's
stuff.
not about taking over the world for them. It's more like with Marvel, like Thanos, half of the universe, he wants half of the universe to be wiped, and with Lo what was Loki's goal? I forgot. Ultron wanted to like take over the world.
Loki wanted to control Earth and stuff.
Oh yeah, that's right. And then like with like DC villains like the Joker, he's just like pure evil rather than well, like sure, the Marvel villains are kind of pure evil too. Well, Thanos I consider like a broken villain or something, but like the Joker, his goal isn't to like take over the world or something. His goal is to send a message. His goal is to like watch the world burn, which is like sure psychopathic, sociopathic and stuff like that, but like it's more
like personal goals.
yeah, it's like
they have. It's not like the same exact. Like, it's not like, oh, I want to take over the world.
yeah, it's like
they would have if they wanted to take over the world, they would want to have something to like drive them towards like.
and like another thing I'd like to mention, I'm emphasizing the Joker a lot because I'm like a really big fan of him and all, but like think about it, in Marvel, the villains want to kill, like they want to kill the heroes so badly and stuff like that. Well, I mean like what some of the famous villains in DC like Lex Luthor for example, he wants to kill Superman and stuff like that. But like he only wants to kill Superman and like the Joker on the other hand, he wants to like he doesn't want to kill anyone. He just want cuz the way that um like in the Lego Batman movie, I'm really bringing that up, but it was a good movie though. The Lego Batman movie, the Joker keeps on trying to show that that Batman completes him and he completes Batman. Like they complete each other. And like in the Dark Knight movie, one of the quotes from Joker, I'm pretty sure it went like was I don't know, no, I don't want to kill you. Why, Batman, you complete me. So that shows that like they don't always want to kill them. They just like want to send a message through or something to like be feared, I guess you could say, and like watch it all burn or something. I don't know.
Yeah, but I mean, Marvel characters also have their upsides.
Yeah. I feel like
Tony Stark has
yeah,
more of like a mechanical sense than Batman. Like Batman has more of like a trap sense. Like
yeah.
he tries to trap his victims.
And another thing about Iron Man, Iron Man has all those like super villains and stuff like that where Batman has like those regular villains. Like there are no superpowers with the villains.
So like I think what we're trying to say is like Marvel takes stuff to the extreme.
Yeah.
Like Marvel
whereas like DC
at a more personal approach.
Yeah, and they're like
amplify that approach.
And it's more like a simple approach than Marvel too.
Yeah.
Not saying they do a bad job at it, I'm just saying like some
yeah.
Another aspect I'd like to take on this is the newer like the movies, like the newer movies and stuff. Cuz I mean like if you think about like how movies have been doing lately, you'll think about like, oh, Avengers Endgame, but like that was like 3 years ago at this point, and it's like Marvel's kind
Yeah.
of lacking what in the movie aspects now. Because I mean, like, think about it. They're like, it's like a whole like, how do I explain it? It's like Marvel's like trying too hard now. I feel like they're like going above and beyond, but like for the
Yeah, they're
Eternals,
trying
like
to get
they're like trying to
trying to
start
hit
new
every
things, but they're
aspect.
not doing it right. Like with
Yeah.
The Avengers was like so good because it was a bunch of heroes, separate heroes who had no knowledge of each other that just that were just forced to work together to save the world, and they had no choice to save the world together, but then they didn't like each
And
other and
that's
there
the
were like
same
so many
exact
conflicts.
that's the same exact origin story of the Justice League.
Yeah, but
Same
like
exact one. So it's like Marvel is trying to do the, or I don't know, it
but
could
the
be
Avengers was like
DC
so
trying
much
to do
more
the things
effective
better
than
than
the
Marvel,
Justice League because they
maybe.
had, in my opinion, they had like more likable characters in the Avengers because like Tony Stark, sarcastic attitude guy, and like Captain America always trying to like be the hero and stuff like that, and then there's like Thor and stuff like a god and stuff like that who's like privileged and stuff like that. Whereas like DC, they don't have like as likable characters in the Justice League, I feel like, because like it's harder to
I think,
bond with them.
yeah, I think, well, like
And another thing I'd like to add, Justice League,
yeah,
they started off like trying to like copy Marvel almost, and that was not a very good approach because like that didn't work out in the end for them. So like, but like when they
yeah,
started taking their own approaches at stuff, that's why they're starting to do better now, and Marvel's starting to do worse since Phase 4 of the cinematic universe. Because like the series, especially She-Hulk, I'd like to mention. Hate to target, but I mean like
yeah.
just not it. Just not it.
I have to say this, alright?
Uh-huh.
Alright, so I respect that Black Panther, and I know they did have this approach before Chadwick Boseman died. Sadly,
Yeah,
they had the
R.I.P.
approach that they wanted to make um the girl Black Panther anyway.
Yeah.
I think
That's how they had it in the
I think they
comics,
wanted to
I'm
do that.
pretty sure.
Yeah, so they wanted to do that, but I think Marvel is just trying to add too much diversity. Like I understand that the diversity makes everyone happy, but me, I
Like I
think
just
it's
miss
cooler
old Marvel,
if superheroes
really.
go boom boom and then so that's just my I think that like
I can see where you're coming from. Whereas like DC's staying to like their normal route and stuff, I feel like.
yeah, DC's going like the man is psychopathic, like Joker's the psychopath,
Yeah,
and Harley Quinn's the faithful sidekick or girlfriend,
yeah,
and then
either or.
yeah,
It's like how do I put this? It's like Marvel's just losing its jam. Like, you know, with the Avengers, back to what I was saying about them being like likable characters, like they had arguments and conflicts with each other because like they didn't know each other and they didn't want to get along with each other, but were forced to eventually. The Eternals after the Avengers wave, like they still have the Avengers, but like it's still like it's split up into parts now, consider after like Captain America and Iron Man are gone. But I mean like the Eternals, the problem with them was they were like perfect almost. Like they already knew they just met each other, but they were all fine with each other. It was like barely any conflict with each other at the beginning and stuff like that, which kind of made it harder to get into, I feel like, because it was just like not it. Like the flaws in characters are what make them amazing. In my that's my take on it.
yeah, that is kind of true. They did add some cool stuff to the Eternals, like they added like kind of a civil kind of stuff. They
Oh
tried to
yeah.
make them
I just wasn't really a
go
fan of the
against each other.
movie. But I mean like I hate to bring it up, but like Icarus in the movie, basically Captain America. um, but like, I don't know, like, I kind of feel like DC's like gonna start taking over soon, unless Marvel has to be careful about their decisions. Like, if they aren't, then they could like again, DC could take over.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, DC and Marvel both have it's a very similar but different approach. I think it's like they both try to do the same thing, but they try to do it in different ways.
Yeah.
Like Marvel's trying to make everyone happy, while DC's going with the same exact thing that they did like 20, 30 years ago in the comics.
Yeah, at first they were copying Marvel, but now they're starting to take their own approach with which in the end is more successful.
Wait, are you talking about DC?
Yeah, DC.
Well, they weren't trying to copy
Well, no,
everyone.
not
I think they
exactly,
just
but they
tried to
had like a
copy
similar
everyone like
approach.
Batman versus Superman. I think.
Yeah. Like, okay. So, I know you haven't seen it, but The Dark Knight, like very good trilogy. Very good. I really was a fan of it. It had like a phenomenal performances. That was a good one, but then like as you said, like Batman versus Superman, Batman v Superman, it had some goods, but it had a lot more flaws than goods in my opinion. Um, than scores in my opinion because like it just wasn't that interesting in my I don't know. Like they just start I feel like it wasn't as good and it was lacking on some parts. But like
And no, I
I
think they were just trying to like DC was trying to go like with the Avengers
yeah,
versus
like
Thanos kind
it's
of approach. Like they were trying to make a very powerful villain, try to make a team of superheroes trying to beat them or something.
yeah.
Like
Um
Batman versus Superman and Justice League had the exact same approach,
yeah.
which I didn't think was very entertaining. Because
Yeah, that's yeah.
um each of the other DC um movies that weren't in the same trilogy had a different approach.
Mhm.
So each one had like a new kind of taste.
The thing about the thing about Marvel I feel is that the heroes are more likable in Marvel, whereas in DC the villains are more likable in Marvel. I mean, no, not in Marvel. The DC villains are more likable than the heroes in DC, and then in Marvel the heroes are more likable than the villains. I feel
Yeah.
like in general, like there are some likable characters and villains in Marvel, and there are some likable characters in DC, but I mean like in general, like the villains in
Oh,
DC are more likable than.
wait. So look, the backstories of the characters, like the origin stories, are amplified so much more in Marvel. I think. Like Tony Stark, like they studied the origin story of Tony Stark from the beginning. They showed it right in Iron Man 1. And then in Thor they amplified Norse mythology. Like they just tried to make it more meaningful. Because in DC, Wonder Woman is from like Greek mythology, and they didn't even include any of that. Like it's just the origin stories are
Batman's
amplified a
origin
lot.
story was from the
Well,
beginning, though.
Batman has a good origin story. They included Batman's origin story a lot. He's
Batman's
really important.
origin story is like it's good, but it's like the other ones just are Superman also has its origin story, like especially in like the original Superman
Superman
movies.
isn't as good.
Yeah, it's not as good, but at least they have one. It's like sort of interesting, like a baby
I mean,
living on the planet Krypton. It's about to explode, and then like he's sent to planet Earth.
yeah, they had to include Batman's origin story.
It's
You can't
just
really say
it
that.
just like it
They
just like
they
shows
had
so
to
much about why he's like that.
Yeah.
Like
If DC didn't make the Batman movies, then DC wouldn't be anywhere.
Yeah, I feel like, but like the original Superman movies were also like an amazing score in my opinion. Like with
Yeah,
the Christopher Reeve
the
movies.
original ones, the original ones had all the same like the same kind of.
No, the original ones were good.
Yeah, but they made too many copies of the same kind of thing.
Yeah, they did have Zod in it though, which was cool.
Yeah, Zod was cool. It's good that they included Zod.
Zod's an underrated villain, man.
All right, wait. What do you think is the Marvel counterpart for Green Lantern?
Marvel counterpart for Green Lantern.
Like who would?
I don't know.
I think it's either like Thor or Hulk or something.
No, not Hulk.
No, not Hulk. Yeah.
All right, let's go into a different
They did not.
aspect. Wait, oh, you could finish.
They
What you
did
did.
not make Green Lantern good. Like they did not make Green
Green
Lantern good
Lantern's
enough.
potential was wasted, I feel like.
Yeah, his potential was definitely wasted. Like they could have made it so like he was like a really powerful being, but they just made him kind of weak.
Yeah.
He's pretty powerful.
Can I move into
They did
another?
include the origin story. They made a good actor for him, Ryan Reynolds, but like
Even he
the
didn't like
story,
his role in the movie though. Even he didn't like it.
yeah, and but the story I just think was lacking.
Yeah. Can I move into a different aspect now?
Yeah.
All right, I'd like to talk about video games now.
All right.
So, I know that DC probably has like more video games than Marvel and stuff, but I mean like Marvel does have its good games like Lego Marvel Superheroes and stuff like that. That's like probably the most iconic one to me. Then they have like Spider-Man PS4. But then the thing about Spider-Man PS4 is there's Arkham Knight for Batman, which is a DC game, and it's like basically the older and better version of it. Um, they're coming out with like an Iron Man game, and then they're coming out with like a Wolverine game, which I'm sure will be good and all. But like,
The Avengers. Oh, we have to talk about the Avengers game. That game was definitely lacking. That one sucked.
wait, like just the Avengers or like the Lego
The
Avengers?
Avengers game, like the I think 2016, 2018.
Oh yeah, that one was kind of lacking.
That one was. I did not like that.
Yeah, but like after I feel like Spider-Man PS4 and Lego Marvel Superheroes was like really the big hits for Marvel video games because like the thing is like after Lego Marvel Superheroes, it's like not as good. Like Lego Marvel Avengers wasn't as good, and then Lego Marvel Superheroes 2 wasn't as good. Whereas like DC and then like Spider-Man PS4 is like almost. I'm not saying it's completely, but almost copied mechanics from Arkham Knight, and I still personally like Arkham Knight better. But or Arkham Trilogy better. But then DC like has a like it still has good games like Arkham is good. The Arkham Trilogy is good. They have like Lego Lego Batman, Lego DC supervillains and stuff like that. Those are good. They have Injustice. They have I forgot what
Yeah,
it's
but
called.
those aren't really story games. I don't. I think Injustice is more like.
Injustice is a story game.
Oh really?
Yeah, it has like story to it, and then there's like Street Fighter kind of stuff. It's a good game.
Oh. Well, I think. I think
And I don't want to hear that
every
Arkham
major
doesn't have
franchise.
story because it has a lot of story, man. The whole thing is a campaign.
Yeah, each major franchise that we could think of has a really good like game that shows like it's not really part of the story, but it has story to it.
Yeah.
It's like an off story game. Like Star Wars has Battlefront, DC has Injustice.
Arkham.
Marvel has, I guess, it does have Avengers and stuff, but it's not that good.
Let's just do Spider-Man PS4 because like probably one of the most iconic right now.
Well, yeah, it does have a story, and it does. I think it does contribute to the actual Spider-Man story. Maybe.
I feel like Arkham did it better still. That's just me though. That's just me. Hmm. I think that we've covered a lot. Have we covered it all?
I think so.
Oh, okay.
I mean, we've done.
Well, let's
We
wrap
talked
it off
about
with
comics a
this.
little bit.
Let's wrap it off with your personal preference. The thing about DC is it's more like for teens and stuff. I feel like it's more like a mature audience rather than Marvel. Like Marvel's like a good vibe thing, whereas like DC's like more dark and stuff and noir and stuff like that. So if you're like more into like if you're more into like mature themed superhero movies or stuff like that, then I feel like DC would be a better pick for you. But if you're like into like the funny stuff, like the humorous stuff and stuff like that,
I
I
mean,
would say
DC's
I
humorous, but
yeah,
it's not as
it's
much
not
fun.
as humorous. The Joker's probably the best
Avengers
humor
is more
part of
witty.
it of DC. I'll be honest.
Like Marvel is more witty, I think,
Yeah,
than
Marvel's more
DC.
witty. I would suggest like if you want like a witty superhero thing, then you would go to like Marvel or something. But maybe you prefer DC. I don't know.
Yeah, it's really up to the character of the watcher. I mean, it always is, but like, all right, well, we've covered everything.
Yeah, I think we've covered everything. Hope you enjoyed this. Guess you could call it a podcast. I guess it's sort of like is, but it's like a debate at the same time. Um, anyways, hope you enjoyed it. James James will be with us for every one of these kinds of things, cause yeah, um, he's just
Yeah,
cool.
we'll
He's
put
just
it
cool
down.
like that. He's just cool like that. But
Yeah.
oh, I forgot to mention, James is actually was also formerly known as Noodle too, which is cool. So that but yeah, uh, if you if you enjoyed this episode, maybe consider liking and subscribing, and hopefully this was informative to you. And yeah, we'll see you
Oh, let
guys.
us know in the comments which one's better, Marvel or DC.
Yeah, let us know in the comments that yeah. Um, but on that note, we'll see you guys in the next one.